Hey guys, Aaron again, back with another review for you. Today we're going to be talking about the movie Green Book. It's a film back in 2018 starring Viggo Mortensen and Marshall Ali, and it was just praised and loved and all that. So, got my notes. Let's dive right in, guys. So, as always, Green Book released September 11th of 2018, directed by Peter Farley. You would most likely know him from rom coms, believe it or not. This was kind of out of his element. He did Dumb and Dumber, Shallow Hal, Me, Myself, and Irene, Something About Mary, and The Heartbreak Kid. Now, some of those I actually enjoy, and they are good films. Some of them on completely opposite spectrum, I can't stand them. But regardless, it is something of note that he is definitely more into rom coms, even kind of gross out humor, so to speak, and then comes out in 2018 and directs this film, which, like I said, got all kinds of accolades and just praise and love. It's a really good accomplishment for him, especially given where the kind of films he had done before. But so yeah, it stars Viggo Mortensen, Mahershala Ali, and Linda Cardellini. There's other people, but those are the three main known. But the plot centers around it's based on a true story, and the plot centers around 1962 Bronx bouncer Tony Lip takes an African American pianist named Don Shirley on a tour through the Deep South. So this was, like I said, 1962. So obviously segregation was a thing, civil rights movement, that kind of stuff. So this was definitely a dangerous and uncomfortable trip. I mean, to be really honest, I can't imagine what that must have been like going on stage and playing for these people who some of them in the crowd may hate you, just for the color of your skin. It's it's just it's got to be it had to have been a rough time, and this is the film we're presented with. But on that note, it's great. It really is. I believe that I had seen the film Moonlight, where Mahershala Ali had won his first Academy Award. Not that he didn't do a good job or anything, but he wasn't in it all that much, and it just. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. Don't get me wrong. I just watching this, I absolutely could see. Oh man, he packs a punch in this one. He's so calm and well reserved, and you can see and feel his anger sometimes, but he's just so zen about everything. And then Viggo Mortensen, on the other hand, is the opposite. He, gets mad and he snaps. He's a firecracker. He's insulting left and right and ready to smack people up. He's a typical, Bronx mobster, and he just, and he is a little connected, as we see in the film. I don't think his ties run that deep, but he's definitely someone of note in the mafia community. He's definitely somebody because he gets the dawn of whichever family he is connected with is constantly like, hey, you need any work? I'll get you some work, and blah blah blah. There's always little small things to make some just last minute cash, but still, it's worth note that he's a connected guy. And so in this time specifically, like I said, the time period, and then with being specifically Italian American mafia, I don't think that they. I don't want to paint on a broad picture here, but I don't believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but I don't believe that the Italian American mafia is generally kind to um, other races, specifically African American. And I don't mean maybe they just don't you know welcome them in the way they should. And I may be just completely talking out of my ass on that one. And I'm sorry if I am. And I, like I said, didn't mean to paint with a broad picture, but that is the vibe I've gotten from films and movies and things I've read about the culture. But I might be wrong. Once again, I'm sorry if I am. Anyway, um, but so yeah, this is a very. With that being said, for Viggo Mortensen to take this job and accept it, no matter how much the money is or whatever, he does get paid handsomely. But no matter what the size of the pot is at the end of the day, it's a very it's risky because it's like I said, it's in the deep South at this time period where it's civil rights, that kind of stuff's going on. So African Americans were not being treated well at all. There was still segregation. You see it in the film. There's whites and blacks only kind of things. They're separated things, and so taking out any mafia connections, this was just a dangerous trip for them to take. And that's one of the things that they butt heads on, because at the beginning Viggo Mortensen's like, why do you even want to do this if this is going to be the reception you're going to get from all these people, especially in the South? And Mahershala Ali's is like, this is why I want to do it. I want to pave the, you know what I mean? I want to do this. I'm proving something. And I don't know if he's really proving it to himself or to the world or to the African American community. I don't know who he's proving it to. It doesn't really go into detail, but nonetheless, he is proving it to somebody. And I think he does it in the film. It's a very, I watched it again recently. It's the second time I've seen it, and I liked it the first time, and I really, really liked it this time. I don't know if it was I didn't pick up things the first time, or I didn't really just watch it as a cohesive film. I don't know if I wasn't paying it. I don't know what it was, but for some reason, this specific time, it really just connected with me, and I really, 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 really liked it. And it's and the other thing too is you get in these very serious films, not all the time that you don't get. I'm sorry, is what this film has. It's funny. It's really funny. There's moments where just the dynamic with Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali is they are very they're like almost butting heads, and they are, but they're not being mean to each other. It's just there's a culture barrier there that there's this one moment where it's a good scene. They're driving down the road, and Viggo Mortensen eats this whole film. He's just constantly just shoving his face full of stuff, and he stops and picks up some KFC, and he offers some to Mahershala Ali, and he's like, and he doesn't want it, and he's like, oh, come on, this is the food of your people, a very stereotypical and not great thing to say in that regard, but then it's funny seeing him try to figure out how to eat it, because it's greasy, and he's like, it's greasy, and blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't understand just like to eat it with your hand, as Viggo Mortensen's doing. It's just a very funny scene, and there's moments like that throughout the whole film. It's it's their dynamic is so great, and then the cool thing is later you see that Viggo Mortensen even kind of acknowledges some of his own prejudices that he had, and goes to the defense of Mahershala Ali, and it's really nice to see that, because he there's this one scene where they're at their family dinner and all that, and one of his relatives makes a remark that isn't racially sensitive, and Viggo Mortensen, he corrects him. He's like, look, come on, they're just like us and all that, and everyone's kind of surprised and taken aback, but it's a nice scene, and it's a nice little oh, okay, we're seeing some growth here. So the film really does focus around those two leads, but like I said, there are other people in the film. The only one really of note, and nothing against anybody else in the film, but the only one of really of note is Linda Cardellini, who plays Viggo Mortensen's wife, and she does a great job, because she, of course, loves her husband, and is supporting him, but is concerned about him because of the situation. But she also is a lot more sensitive to the segregation and things like that. She is not. You never see her do racist remarks. She gets offended, when Viggo Mortensen's friends come over and they act like pigs about certain things. I'm sorry. And then at the end, when you see Viggo Mortensen start to show some, like, hey, I'm showing some growth here, she's really proud of him and she likes it, and it's just a really nice, touching thing like that. And like I said, there's all kinds of small little moments in the film that are just great. And the whole film as a whole, it's just a great film. Like I said, it's based on a true story. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but I'm going to give it the A-OK for me personally. I I always write down, what I'm going to give it, 9 out of 10. I'm actually going to bump it up to a 9.5 out of 10 because the more I'm talking about it, just the more excited I am about it. And like I said, I liked it the second time 10 times more than I did the first time. It's just a great film. I definitely recommend it. Um, Let me know what you guys think if you do tend to watch it. And like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.